Verizon, it's game 4. The Knicks and the Sixers from Philadelphia, with the Knicks trying to wrap this up and sweep the Sixers in 4 straight. Fans will be inside MSG. They're also going to be outside MSG. These watch parties have been electric on 33rd and 7th. And how about the Knicks fans' presence in Philadelphia? Huge impact in game 3. Looking for more of the same energy in game number 4. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito along with Alan Hahn and Wally Szczerbiak. Knicks trying to eliminate the Sixers. Alan, they won game 3 without OG Anunoby. They're going to have to do it again today. He is again out with that sore hamstring.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about all the historical references. Today, May 10th, of course, anniversary of the 1973 championship. The 6 in a row that they've had back to 99, as well as the last time they swept was back in 99. But this is about present day. This is about this current team and where they are right now, and how they're trying to accomplish something to make their own history, and it could happen today.
It could. This team is making history every time we watch them play, it seems like. They're just playing at such a high level. I go back to the 3 Villanova core guys, the way they've played in this series, it's been outstanding. Jalen with the scoring. The defense by Bridges and Hart, along with the scoring of Bridges, has been just outstanding. Hart is just the engine on this team. He's so important with him out there on the floor, and they just continue to rise their game, their level, their play, and answer every question that they're asked. Let's see if they can finish it off in 4. It's not going to be easy, though.
All right, so the Knicks trying to get to the conference finals for the 2nd straight season. Pre-game comments now from Knicks coach Mike Brown.
Philly's a great team, and they're well coached, and it's going to be a dogfight. We have to keep taking it one possession at a time and try to play as hard as you can on every possession, knowing that they're going to go on runs, the crowd's going to be behind them. You know, they're going to be fighting for their playoff lives, so they're going to be a little desperate. So it's going to be a hard fought game if we expect to win.
Closeout games always supposed to be a challenge, although the Knicks wiped out the Hawks.
Yeah, what was the last series?
In that closeout game. Our game-changing question brought to you by PGIM. And while the question is, can the Knicks continue their dominance in the second half? They've been dominant, especially in the last handful of fourth quarters.
Yeah, I really think they can. Defensively, that's when Mike Brown kind of hones in on the matchups he wants. So he makes it very difficult for the other team to score. And then offensively with Jalen Brunson, he's one of the best closers in the game. So that's when he shines in the fourth quarter and in the second half. The contributions that this team's getting, the way they're schooled to just be on the same page, no matter who's out there, bench, starters, doesn't matter. It's just been phenomenal, Alan. I just think this team is playing at such a high level. They have so much confidence. They're very well coached. So there's no reason why they can't continue this play.
And you see right there, the Sixers scored 18 points in the fourth quarter at home in a playoff game. They haven't hit 20 in the last 2 playoff games against the Knicks. So we can show a lot of offense, but this has really been about defense for the Knicks. And it really was 2 runs. It was the 12-3 to close the game 2, where they took it over. They scored 9 straight points and ended on a 12-3 run to win that game at home. And then it was that 17-3 run in the middle of the fourth quarter when the Sixers cut it to 4, and the Knicks answered. And that's really what it's been about. Answering the bell. Every time the Sixers thought they threw a punch, the Knicks punched back. And when they punched back, it was a knockout blow.
Philly's fourth quarter shooting, as you just saw, has really been off. A lot of that has to do with the Knicks defense. Key stat presented by PwC. So you can, and as you can see, speaking of Mikal Bridges and defense, yes, look at the offense, but look at what he has done. His defensive three-point field goal percentage, 25%. That's how well he's locking down the guy he's guarding. He's also forcing, Wally, 4.5, Allen, forcing 4.5 opponent turnovers per game.
And the matchup with Tyrese Maxey for 3 games, he has won. Maxey in 21 matchup minutes has only scored 10 points. He has not shot the ball a ton, but he has 12 turnovers in the series. Maxey does. 8 of the 12, Wally, are when Mikal Bridges is guarding him. So he has been the answer so far for 3 games against the Sixers' best player.
And how about the aggressiveness on the offensive end of the floor? I mean, he's finishing in transition. He's included in the offense. He's gotten to the free throw line a bunch, playing with some smarts and some physicality, going at his opponent that he's having to defend Maxey. Well, he's making Maxey and Paul George defend, too. That's what you have to do in playoff series. You can't just let those guys relax. I think the biggest thing about his defense. Maxey only has 2 threes in this whole entire series. He is locking down that three-point line. And we talked about Maxey can shoot it from 30 feet. Way behind the three-point line. Maxey's aggressiveness and his confidence from the three-point line has been completely taken away by Mikal Bridges' length.
Guys, just got word Deuce McBride is going to start again with OG Anunoby out. That means Landry Shamet, who potentially could start, is going to again come off the bench. He was your player to watch prior to Game 3. I think you called it. How about his Game 3, Wally, against the Sixers? For a guy that's been out of the rotation, talk about what it's like to come through when you again get your opportunity.
Well, you saw glimpses of it in Game 2 because Mike Brown started to go to him at key times when he needed some more length on the perimeter, and he answered the bell, and he played well defensively. So that's how you earn your minutes when you're on a Mike Brown bench, by playing good defense and showing that you're ready. Then the floodgates open on the offensive end of the floor. The little banker from the corner, you know it's your night. I love that he didn't just settle for threes, took the ball to the basket, got himself to the free throw line a couple times. At the end of the shot clock, made a huge play to get himself to the line. There he keeps the ball alive. Alvarado hits a three. I mean, the bench changed the game. They really did. Alvarado, Shamet, and Mitch, when they came in, the Knicks were down 12, remember, when the starters got off to a slow start, because that starting unit is small at every position, and I think Philly took advantage of that. But then when Clarkson and company throw him into the bench brigade mix that came in the game, that's when the game flipped, and Philly was like, geez, we built ourselves a 12-point lead. Now our bench gives it up. Now we got to deal with the starters coming back in the lineup, and it wasn't the starters with Deuce in the starting lineup. It was the starters with Shamet in the starting lineup. And that's when the Knicks really took it to the Sixers, when they had that 5-man unit to close the second quarter.
Knicks bench outscored Philly's bench in Game 3 29-11. And because of the impact of the bench and Mitchell Robinson, physicality, Allen in Game 3, Cat, because of the foul trouble he's had so far, is only averaging 24 minutes per game in this series, and yet the Knicks are up 3 games tonight.
And yet he's also still dominating when he is on the court. Like the numbers he's putting up despite the limited minutes are really impressive, especially his passing numbers. But I feel like Game 3 was an embarrassment to the NBA with some of the stuff that was going on the floor, especially with number 21 in white there, and all the histrionics and the silly stuff he's doing. What he's telling you is, like, everything is a foul here, and then he flops around. He must have fallen about 10 or 12 times while in this game, and it just felt like he was letting you know, I can't move. So all I can do is just try to just play football. And a lot of this stuff, by the way, is dangerous stuff that he's doing for a guy his size. But also, you're a guy to play in the league. I felt like it was embarrassing for the game of basketball.
Totally. I watched it in person. I mean, Embiid is just trying to bait you into fouls right and left. He's completely taken Karl Anthony out of that game and out of the series. And Towns is just trying to play legal, normal basketball. And he's got a guy grabbing him, holding him, diving into his legs, flopping all over the place. It's very frustrating to deal with guys like that playing against him. He just has to let it go in one ear, out the other. He has to go out there and just let his play do the talking. Just knock down shots right in his face, laugh in his face, whatever you need to do. Just play good, solid basketball and let your play do the talking.
All right, we've got watch parties outside and inside MSG. Alex Monaco now from inside the world's most famous arena.
Thanks, Bill. Down here at the Knicks watch party, fans starting to trickle in. Here with a couple of diehard Knicks fans, Nikhil and Ajay. Nikhil, I want to come to you first. What's it like being in here with all of these Knicks fans?
The vibes are electric, you know, hoping to see a big Knicks win tonight, maybe by 20-plus points, you know?
I love that. All right, Ajay, give me someone you want to see pop off for the Knicks today.
Definitely Brunson. I know he's had a couple of great games against the 76ers. Hopefully see 50 from him, and maybe Cat get some revenge on Joel Embiid.
I love it. All right, it is Mother's Day. Can I get a Mother's Day wish from you?
I think my mom wants to see the Knicks win.
All right, can we get a let's go Knicks on 3? 1, 2, 3.
McNutt is in Philly. She'll be on the call on ESPN New York on the radio. Monica, great to see you as always. What stood out most to you in Game 3?
29 bench points, Speedo. A monster performance from the Villanova guys who once upon a time called this place home. I mean, Mikal Bridges continues to just be excellent with that 23-point performance, and Jalen Brunson leads the way. But the Josh Hart double-double, honestly, Speedo, it was a potpourri of options in terms of things that impressed me about that game. But overall, I would say this team's focus in taking a 3-0 lead, because if they had dropped one, I don't think anybody would have said anything, really. But the focus continues to be there, and that's the most impressive part.
All right, Monica, you mentioned Josh Hart. Let's dive deeper into that conversation. The game that he had in Game 3, how comfortable those Nova Knicks are in that building. What beyond the box score is Josh Hart bringing for the Knicks?
An undeniable energy, Han. I mean, and I don't want that to sound like an oversimplification because it sounds simple, but that should not mean that people confuse the importance of it and the impact of it. But he's flying all around the floor. I mean, he's picking up different defensive assignments. He's crashing the glass. He's coming with the energy and the focus, right? Energy and focus to me go hand in hand when you watch how this team performs. And this goes back to the first round series when he was called into duty to guard C.J. McCollum, to guard Jalen Johnson. Whatever it is that this team needs, he's been willing to bring it to the forefront, and I just think that's been outstanding.
Monica, no OG, no problem. What were your thoughts on how the Knicks performed without OG Anunoby in the lineup?
Wally, can you have that conversation without specifically mentioning Landry Shamet, who had a 15-point performance off the bench? You guys know I love taking questions from the fans as we're preparing for games. And he was someone that people asked about in terms of Game 3. And what I have to call out for Landry Shamet is that his process has not changed no matter what in terms of minutes played. I believe it was after the closeout game in Atlanta. Obviously, he wasn't playing a ton in that series, but he was out on the floor as the team was preparing to go back home to New York and get ready for their second-round matchup. He has been steadfast about how he has approached this season, and he understands that, yes, it was great to see 15 points put up, but his defensive intensity is what got him on the floor and into the rotation during the regular season, and that's the same energy that he's brought here in the postseason. It's both sides of the ball for him.
All right, Monica, have a great call on the radio on ESPN New York, and we'll talk to you after today's game number